Hi everyone, I want to walk you through the assignment that's due Sunday, step by step. So you want to make sure to answer all the questions and follow the instructions here. So when it asks for a response, make sure you're doing one paragraph. So let's start here. So the first thing you're going to do is enter your top 5 signature themes. So those are the ones that we associated with Strengths Quest. And then you're going to find your top 2 signature themes in chapter 10, and you're going to select some observations or suggestions that you feel like would be helpful for you when you're looking at your career. So now we're moving into interests and values. And where we're going to find these interests is in Atlas, where we did my plan for our career assessment. So let me show you what that looks like. So in order to find our interests, we're going to go to my plan through Atlas, and here is the interest test results. So for instance, what I would be doing would be writing down enterprising and artistic. And remember that I got that through my reports here. Now, after I type in my 2 interests, I'm going to describe the work environment that's suited for that. And there's information within that. There's a lot of information about what those environments are. So we want you to not copy and paste, but do a summary of those results. Now, these are the core work values, and that is found in the same place. So we're going back to Alice, and over here on the left-hand side, this is the values test. So we can see here after I do that test that it's given me value clusters. So these are ranked ordered. So this is what I want to write in those spots. So number 1 would be independence, and then achievement, etc., so on and so forth. And I recommend when you're looking at this results that you're also reading through it, because the summaries that you're going to do are based on that. So now is a moment for reflection and for connection. So think about your future career that you've selected or you have an idea about, and what degree or major you're going to pursue, and do the assessments, which we just talked about above, align with your future goal. So if the answer is yes, let's have you describe that. So what are some specific examples from your purpose statement, the Strengths Quest assessment? Now, if the answer is no, that's okay, but just give an explanation about why it doesn't align with it. So maybe it's the job itself that doesn't interest you. Maybe it's some real world insight that you've had. So we want to do a paragraph. And then we're moving into exploring career. So we're going to go ahead and think about the career that you're planning on pursuing. So if you're not quite sure yet, then take a look in the suggested careers and find something that looks interesting to you. So the next 2 steps, we're using external resources. So the first one that we're going to use is the Ferguson's Career Guidance Center in the library. So I'm going to show you that. So we're here, we're in the world of Atlas, we're going to search the library. And again, we're looking for the Ferguson's database. So we did library sessions this week, so we maybe went over part of this, but what you're going to do is click on databases A to Z, and we're going to scroll all the way down to Ferguson's. And what I want to point out is this is not just something you can use for this assignment, but this is a really interesting way to look at different jobs, to find ideas. You can search for internships through this site. So this is an excellent resource. So you can see there's tons of information here about writing resumes and an outlook on a fastest growing job, et cetera, et cetera. So let's take a look at what we're looking for exactly. Now, what we're doing in Ferguson is we're researching the career that we've selected. So I'm just going to assume that my career is engineering, something in engineering. So through my career assessments and career match, I have found biomedical engineer, and I'm interested in this. I'm going to research it. So I just typed it in here, and now I'm just going to click on the profession profile, and then here's the information that's interesting. So what we're going to use in that assignment are some general things like what's the minimum education, what's the salary, what skills and traits are interesting, you know, what's going to be most helpful in terms of your innate characteristics. So what requirements are needed, how's the employment and advancement practices, and then finally, how do you climb the career? So we want to look at this, remember, specifically for that one career that we're thinking about. So we've gone to Ferguson's, and now the last piece of this is I'm going to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, which is sponsored by the government and has all of the up-to-date information about the profession. So we're going to go to this website, and then we're going to type in the same career that we researched before. So for instance, here, I'm going to search this, and I'm going to search for biomedical engineer. All right, click on the first one here, and you can see this information is incredibly credible and reliable. So again, what's the median pay? What's the entrance? You're going to notice that these are different questions because we want to get to a different piece. So what's the training? What's the job outlook? We're going to have that conversation. So you're done. You talked about your strengths. You talked about your assessments. You've done research in 2 spots, and this is the final piece. So how does reaching your career change? So how does this research actually change what you're thinking about your career? And then how can you use this information to address your career goals? Is there a specific degree that you need to pursue? Are there internships, et cetera, et cetera? So once you complete all those parts, you're done with the assignment and you're ready to go.